There was a beggar living at a railway station in a city. He used to fill his stomach by begging passengers traveling on the trains passing through that station. One day, while he was begging, a tall man in a suit appeared. The beggar thought to himself, "This person looks very rich. He will surely give me a good amount of money if I ask him for alms." So he started begging the tall man. Upon seeing the beggar, the tall man said, "You always keep begging. Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I am a beggar. I keep asking people for alms. I don't have the means to give anything to anyone." The tall man said, "If you can't give anything to anyone, then you don't have the right to ask for anything either. I am a businessman, and I believe in transactions. Only if you have something to give me, I can give you something in return." Saying this, the tall man boarded a train and left. The beggar began to think about the tall man's words. They sank deep into his heart. He wondered, "Maybe I don't get much in alms because I can't give anything in return. But I am a beggar. I can't give anything to anyone. But how long can I keep begging without giving anything in return?" After much thought, the beggar decided that he would give something in return to anyone who gave him alms. But now he had a question. "I am a beggar, so what can I give in return?" He spent 2 days thinking about this, but couldn't find an answer. On the third day, as he was sitting near the station, he noticed some flowers blooming on plants around the station. He thought, why not give people flowers in exchange for alms? He liked this idea and plucked a few flowers. Now, when he went to beg on the trains, whenever someone gave him alms, he gave them a flower in return. People were happy and kept the flowers. The beggar began picking flowers every day and giving them out in exchange for alms. Within a few days, he noticed that more and more people were giving him alms. He used to bring all the flowers from around the station, and as long as he had flowers, many people gave him alms. But when the flowers ran out, he didn't get any alms. This continued for several days. One day, while begging, he saw the same tall man sitting in the train, the one who had inspired him to give something in return for alms. The beggar rushed to him and said, "Today, I have something to give you in return. Please give me alms, and I will give you some flowers in exchange." The tall man gave him some money, and the beggar gave him some flowers. The tall man was impressed and said, "Wow, you've become a businessman like me." Saying this, the tall man took the flowers and got off the train at his station. But once again, the beggar was deeply moved by the tall man's words. He kept thinking about them, and his heart filled with joy. He felt like he had found the key to success that could change his life. His eyes began to shine with excitement, and he suddenly shouted to the sky, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman. I can become rich, too." People nearby thought he had gone mad. The next day, the beggar was never seen at the station again. But 6 months later, 2 well-dressed men were traveling on the same station. One of them saw the other and said, "Do you recognize me?" The other replied, "No, I think this is our first meeting." The first man smiled and said, "No, we've met twice before. We met once when you told me what I should do in life, and the second time you told me who I really was. The second man smiled, surprised, and said, "Oh, now I remember. You were the beggar whom I refused to give alms to the first time, and then bought flowers from the second time. But where are you going today in that suit? And what are you doing now?" The first man said, "Yes, I am the same beggar, but today I am a big flower trader. I am going to another city for business." After a brief pause, he continued, "The first time you met me, you told me the law of nature, which says that we receive only when we give something in return. This law of exchange works, and I realized it after some time. But I always considered myself a beggar, and never thought of myself as anything more. When we met the second time, you told me I had become a businessman. Then I understood that I was not a beggar, but a businessman. I understood why people were giving me alms. They weren't just giving me money, but were paying for the flowers. People were buying flowers from me because they were the cheapest flowers around. To others, I was a small trader, but to myself, I was a beggar. After you pointed it out, I realized that I was actually a small businessman. I used the money I earned from giving flowers on the train to buy more flowers, and I became a flower trader. People here love flowers, and their love for them made me a successful flower trader." The two businessmen were happy, got off at the station, and continued discussing their businesses. Moral of the story: this story teaches us a valuable lesson. The tall businessman understood the rule of give and take very well. All successful business people in the world use this principle. He shared this wisdom with the beggar, who adopted it in his life, and it transformed him. By changing his mindset, the beggar's life changed completely. He realized that success lies in how we think about ourselves. If we keep thinking small, we will always remain small. To become great, we need to change the way we think and see ourselves as bigger than we currently do. The essence of the story is that success is hidden in your thinking. Wake up your self-respect, expand your thinking, and watch how you reach the peak of success.